Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's learn computer science. Let's start our session 2 of our 21 days masterclass of Python. In today's session, we'll learn about Python data types. We'll cover what data types are and various types of data types that are used in Python, including number, Boolean, sequence, mapping, none, mutable, and immutable. So let's start. First of all, you must know, what do you mean by data types? Data types basically, as the name implies, tells what type of data we are dealing with. When we are creating a program, when we are saving some data in variables, what is the type of data that we are dealing with? So Python is dynamically typed programming language, which means that variables are not bound to a specific data type like in other programming languages, C, C++, Java. You have to beforehand tell that this particular variable is going to deal with this type of data type. So you need to declare variables in other programming languages. However, in Python, no need to declare any variables. No need to tell that which variable is going to have what kind of data in them. As and when you put some data in a variable, then and there, Python will allocate that data type to that particular variable. So to deal with this, Python has several built-in data types that are commonly used to store and manipulate different kinds of data. So if you look at this image, data types in Python can be categorized based on type of data and based on changeability of data. On basis of changeability of data, data types can be mutable and immutable. And based on type of the data, we have numbers, sequences, mapping, and some other data types. Under numbers, we have integers, Boolean, floating point, and complex data types. Under sequences, we have strings, tuples, and lists. Under mappings, we have dictionaries and some other data types, including none, set, and frozen sets. So let's understand about each of these in detail. First of all, let's understand what number data types are. Number data types, basically, they are used to represent numeric values. Those numeric values can be whole numbers, can be values with decimal points, can be complex numbers as well. So commonly used ones are integers, floating points, and complex. So let's understand what integers are first of all. Integers, they are used for whole numbers. They can be positive numbers, they can be negative numbers. So for example, 1, 2, minus 3, these are examples for integer. So for example, if you write x is equals to 1, 1 or 1, 2, right? So as we know, 1, 1 or 1, 2 is a whole number. So x will have data type integer. Then we have floating points. Now floating point, it can take two types. Number one, fractional notation, and second is exponent notation. To deal with bigger numbers, we have exponent notation. For example, 5.30011E02. So this is exponent notation. And simple fractional notation is where you just write 3.14, 1.56, or any other valid example. So real numbers or floating point numbers. For complex numbers, we have data type complex, which is used to deal with complex numbers which have real and imaginary parts, such as if you write a is equals to 2 plus 3j, here a is real part and j is the imaginary part. So Python can deal with complex numbers as well. Then we have Boolean data type. Now, when you know that there are only two situations, result can either be true or false, at that point of time, Boolean data type is used. Boolean data type, it represents a logical value that can either be true or it can be false. Normally, it is used in conditional statements where you check for some conditions, if this is greater than that, or you can also use in logical operations where you're combining two statements together using and or not. So one such example is written here. So if you have x is equals to 9, so 9 is assigned to x, y is equals to 0, where 0 is assigned to y, and you are comparing x with y for equality. Now, if you look here, this is equal to sign used for assignment, where right-hand side value is assigned to left-hand side value. But this operator is comparison operator, where both the sides, left-hand side and right-hand side value, they are compared for equality, whether they are equal or not. This will give you answer in Boolean, true or false. So if x is equals to y, it will give you true. If x is not equal to y, it will give you false. So this equal to assigning values, this equals to comparing values. So here, because we know x is 9, y is 0, so when you compare these, answer is false. So Boolean, right? Then we have sequence data types. Now, sequence data types, these are used to store collections of values. We have strings, list, we have tuple. So let's understand what string, list, and tuples are. So when we talk about string, it is used to store alphanumeric values, text values. For example, if you put CS with SKS with an exclamation mark in double quotes, it is a string. So string doesn't only have alphabets, it can have numbers. It can also have special characters, like in this string, I have an exclamation mark here, right? I also have spaces here. So when you keep something together, numbers, alphabets, or special symbols, or spaces, and you put them in single quotes or double quotes, it is known as a string, right? So sequence of alphabets, digits, or any characters with unique index for each character. Now here, if I look at this string CS with SKS, so here every character, it has an index value, place value, which is starting from 0. So C is having index value 0, S 1, space, including spaces, they also have their index value. So this is 2, then 3 for W, 4 for I, and so on. So each value, they have their index value, and we can access individual characters using their index value. Now, let's understand what lists are. So list is used to store an ordered collection of items. So for example, if you look here, we have 213, 44, and hello. There are 3 items that we have stored here, and these items are stored inside square brackets. Very important that list items, they are stored inside square brackets, and each individual item is separated by comma. So first item 213, second item 44, third item hello, and they also have index values associated with them. So first item, it has 0 index value. Second item, it has first index value. Third item, it has second as index value, right? So list values, they are stored inside the square bracket separated by comma. Now lists, they are mutable. Now what do you mean by mutable? It means that data that we store inside a list can be changed. We'll learn about mutable, immutable in detail in today's session. However, right now you just understand the lists, they are mutable data type. We can change the data that we store inside a list. Next, we have tuples. Now, tuples are also used to store ordered collection of items. Then how come they are different than lists? They are different than lists. Number one, the data inside a tuple is stored inside in a round bracket, parenthesis. These items can also be of any data type, and each individual item is separated by comma. So if you have these data items stored in a tuple, 536, next is 67, then we have 83.336, then we have ABC. So first two items, they are integer. Third item, it is floating point, and last item is a string. All these four items, they are separated by comma and they are kept inside the parenthesis. Parenthesis means round brackets, and they also have index value associated with them. 536, 0th index value, 67, 1 as index value, 83.336, 2 as index value, ABC, 3 as index value, right? So if you have n number of values, then your last item will have n minus 1 as index value, right? Then tuples, they are immutable. Means data once stored in a tuple cannot be changed. That is how they are different than list. List items stored inside square brackets. Tuple items, they are stored inside round brackets. Lists, they are mutable. Tuples, they are immutable. So that is the difference between the two data types. Next, we have mapping data type, which is dictionary. Now, dictionary is also known as associative array, and it is used to store key value pairs. Now, to understand what key value pairs are, just look at this example. So this is dictionary name, a variable which is used to store a dictionary, my underscore dictionary, is equals to, now a dictionary items, they are stored in a curly bracket, right? So curly bracket, first item is name, then a colon, then John. So this is known as a key and this is known as a value. So key value pair separated by colon. First pair of key value, then comma, this is first item, this is second item. So second item is age colon 30. So age is key, 30 is value. So second key value pair. First key value pair, name is to John. Then second key value pair is age 30, right? So basically dictionaries, they allow efficient lookup and retrieval of values based on keys. Very important point that dictionaries, they are mutable. However, keys are not mutable. You can change values, but you can't change keys. Indexing is done on keys and not on numbers, as dictionary is unordered data type. We also have some other data types including none, set data type, and frozen set data type. None is used when we need to represent absence of a value. So when we need to show that there is nothing stored inside a variable, you can use none. So for example, if you look here, result is equals to none. And when you print result, output is displayed as none, right? So it is used to indicate a variable that has not been assigned a value. Then we have set data type. Set basically is used to store an unordered collection of unique elements. If you talk about lists, tuples, they all are ordered collection. However, sets, they are unordered collection of unique items, and all the operations that we can apply in mathematics on sets, all those operations we can apply here in Python sets as well, including union, intersection, and difference, etc. Right? So this is one example where I have set 1 as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can figure out union by using this, right? And I can find out intersection by using this. So these operations can be applied on these. Currently, you need not to go into that much depth. You just need to understand that sets are unordered collection of unique elements. Then we also have frozen set data type. Frozen sets, they are almost similar to set data type, but they are immutable. Sets, they are mutable, and frozen sets, they are immutable. Right? Now comes, what is the difference between mutable and immutable data types? So, as I said, that on the basis of changeability of data, we can categorize data types into mutable or immutable. Now, when we talk about mutable, that means values can be changed after they are created. But immutable, these are the data types whose value you cannot change once they are created. Right? So let's have a look at differences between these two. Mutable, values can be changed after creation. Immutable, values cannot be changed after creation. Mutable, elements can be added, removed, modified. Under immutable data types, elements cannot be modified after assignment. Mutable data type require more memory allocation. Immutable, they require less memory allocation. Mutable, they are suitable for dynamic data or modifications. Immutable, they are suitable for constant and unchangeable data. Examples of mutable: lists, dictionaries, sets. Examples of immutable: integers, floats, strings, tuples. Right? These are some examples written here. So list is mutable and we can declare it like this. Dictionary is mutable and we can declare it like this using curly brackets. Set is mutable and we can define it or declare it like this. Integer is immutable and you assign a value to any variable like this. Float is immutable. You define or assign a value to any float variable like this. String is also immutable and tuple is also immutable. Right? In Python, there is a function to know data type of any value or variable. So in Python, the type function is a built-in function that allows you to determine the data type of an object or a value. Syntax is, you write type function, in the bracket, you just pass on the object as an argument. For example, you want to check data type for X and X is having 10 in it. So if you write print type of X, it will give you output as class int. So means its data type is integer. Similarly, if you want to check data type of my string, when my string is having hello world in it, you try to print type my string, you'll get class as string. Right? So type function can be used to find out data type of any value or any object. Now, assessment time. There are 5 questions for you all. Pause the video, try to solve. I'll display answers in the end. Start solving. Now, this is the answer key. Please compare your answers. That's all for today. Thank you.